Well, kids are experiencing gun violence at school to the point that they're calling it routine at this point. Most recently, we've been talking about the shootings at East High.
Many often forget about the impact this can have on the teachers and the administrators. Psychologist Dr. Sheryl Ziegler joins us this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
This is important that we talk about the teachers because they're there through this all. Teaching is now considered the most stressful job in America, topping nurses.
Yes.
Hard to believe.
Wow. Really hard to believe, right? And so I think it's important to take a step back and realize they are frontline workers. Mm-hmm. They, during the pandemic, we all appreciated them and heralded them as heroes, and we gave them lots of love. And then as things are fading away, that level of support and all of that's going away, but the stress is even higher, really, almost than it was during the pandemic.
Yeah, and I remember like during Zoom classes and things like that, they would say, well, teachers are the eyes into, kids' lives and step in during any kind of crisis. But for them, I mean, what is secondary trauma? What are they dealing with?
Yeah, so what we're talking about with teachers, secondary trauma is what happens when you witness and experience the trauma of those around you. So when you're constantly listening to the stories or you're exposed to the level of depression and anxiety that youth are going through these days, you take that in. And so I think you go home, you're not able to do self-care, you're not able to be present with your own family, you feel like you just can't shake the day off, and that takes a toll, and that leads to greater exit out of the workforce, that leads to burnout, that leads to their own depression and mental health issues.
All of this, you can see why it's led to a national teacher shortage. I think there's just so many driving factors to this, and teachers just saying, like, I'm burnt out. This is not what I expected when I signed up to be a teacher.
Absolutely, and it's not what they expected, but now they have to know mental health. Now we know that they're the ones that report abuse and neglect when we see that within kids. We also know that schools provide sometimes the only 1 or 2 meals, the affection, the love, and on top of that, the increased demands for standardized test scores and changing curriculums. And teachers are saying this is too much, and we cannot forget pay. So when you ask them what are your top stressors, pay is usually number 1, and the need for mental health resources is number 2, according to an NEA study. So we have a really stressful job, the most stressful job, that gets paid way too less, and they don't have their own, way too little, and they don't have their own support. So it's really a problem.
Yeah, you just think, I mean, sometimes I look at year after year, we do these stories, and I'm like, the list of what's being put on their plate is just longer and longer and longer, and nothing is being alleviated for them. You never see anything taken off for long-term help.
Right, so what's happening is they are leaving the workforce.
Yeah.
And so we have this teacher shortage, and nationwide, we have 300,000, not just teacher, but like school staff positions, including teachers. So this is a massive problem, but we don't have enough young people going into the profession. So people in college are going, most stressful job, very little pay. Why would I do this?
Yeah, why would I sign up for
do this?
that?
And then you have teachers who maybe are right in the middle of their career. They thought they were going to teach 10 or 15 more years. They're leaving early. So we have seasoned, experienced teachers leaving early, and we don't have new, young students coming in with the right amount. So we really have a problem.
We do, and that's a really tough situation because we have more and more kids that need to be educated and by people who really want to do it, and we just can't get them to do it. And it's understandable because they don't make much money, and they go into it thinking, I love teaching math. But it's so much beyond teaching the subject.
Yes, or I love kids, right?
Yeah.
They usually love kids, and they love the idea of educating them, and then you get there and you realize, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a therapist and a counselor and a nurse and all of these things. And so I really want to say, as we've been talking about East High School so much and emphasizing, the youth and the teens and the mental health, that we have administrators that were shot. We have teachers that are often having to go, gosh, what would I do? I guess, would I risk my life? Like, what would this? So all the things the teens are thinking in their heads, they're also thinking as well, and they have loved ones and kids at home too. So we need to support teachers. We need to acknowledge their mental health, and all of the support that we're giving to the kids, we need to equally provide that for the teachers.
I mean, we're trusting our children to them for A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, during the day. And so thank you so much. I mean, that is absolutely such pertinent perspective.
Yeah. Dr. Ziegler, thank you. We love our teachers, Ed. We really, really do.